everybody. This is Eric Bowling. Thank you for joining our webinar today. Just as a reminder, these are webinars that IPC hosts several times a month as part of our ongoing training for all of our Mitel customers, so that you can be better equipped and educated on the technology that you have with us or are considering with IPC. I have several technology experts on board with us, Kurt Wright and Mark Kruger, who are available to answer some questions. Today's session is pretty timely given the state of our country. Some messages from our government about, hey, if you don't have to come to work, stay at home. It creates a lot of challenges for small businesses, large businesses, medium businesses, all of them, and how to navigate those things. So we thought we would insert this webinar as a special webinar to talk about what many of you have at your disposal already as Mitel customers. Some of them may be related to licensing requirements. Some of them may be just configuring what you already have. And so what we want to do is we want to walk through the various options and platforms at Mitel. We'll have this session for about 45 minutes. We are recording this session, so if you want to forward this to a friend who was unable to attend today, those will be up on our website later this week. Okay, so right, we've got a scattered workforce. It's a we've got folks who are now saying, hey, I need to work from home, and in our own inside sales office, we've received a lot of requests for, hey, how do I implement this remote worker strategy? And so we wanted to talk about each of those today. All right, so right, working from home, pros. We're not going to spend too much time on this piece. This is just some canned slides that we used for this presentation in the past. But you know, the idea that there's less travel, it increases my flexibility. I can now reach talent across the country if I have a good work from home strategy, because I don't need to be limited to just the geography where my headquarters is. And this fourth line item here, I actually added for today's. Well, it's a pro if you've been quarantined, right? So those are some of the pros. Some of the cons are, if I work from home, how do I handle my communications? What do I do about distractions? Some of these you can fix with technology, and others are just good routine and good practices. We had a call this morning with our own internal team about, for the employees who will begin working from home that don't normally do that. We have many that already do. That's how they operate every day, every week. But for people new to that, what are some of the things you need to do to reduce your distractions? And how do you maintain that professionalism when you're outside of that corporate environment? Those are high level. Today, we're going to drive into the technology of it. This is going to be a very real world, specific, technical how-to. This is not a sales presentation by any stretch of the means, but these are just some of the preview slides for why remote strategies, having those in place, are a good idea for your business, whether you've been quarantined or not. So, okay.
Eric, I see that someone's saying that they're not seeing the slides. And then also, I see the slides, but I don't see them progressing.
Okay, thank you for that. Let me see here. I'm going to... Oh, yep, let's see here. It has... Let me do this. I'm going to... Let me just share my entire screen. Okay, so that should give you now. Okay, thank you. I'm sorry about that. When I went into presentation mode, it was still sharing my my PowerPoint presentation and not the presentation mode. So pros and cons, right? Here's the nice quarantine I added. That's if you're quarantined, having the ability to work from home is an advantage, but there's some challenges associated with it. So Mitel has several primary platforms. Today we're going to talk primarily about the premises-based products that Mitel has. Today we're going to focus in on two of their flagship products. We do not cover the MyVoice Office product in this presentation. It's a little bit more limited in its ability to deliver on this remote strategy. You can do it, but that's not the focus of today, as most of our customers are either in the MyVoice Business platform or the MyVoice Connect. For those who are not familiar, you have one but not the other. MyVoice Connect is the former ShoreTel platform, and MyVoice Business is the heritage Mitel platform. Both premises-based. We're also not going to cover the cloud products. Mitel offers several cloud products, MyCloud Connect and MyCloud Flex. Because those are cloud products, they inherently already support a work from home strategy because it's a cloud-based technology. If you have a phone and you can power that phone at your home office, you're already good to go. There's nothing additional needed to do because of the technology, the remote access offered through both the MyCloud Connect and MyCloud Flex, which are the two Mitel cloud-based products. So today we're going to talk about MyVoice Connect, the multiple ways to enable a remote strategy. You have your Edge Gateway, you have a mobility router, there's a feature called Office Anywhere, which is essentially assigning an external number to be your new extension. This solution supports the hard phone, the soft phone, and the mobile phone. And what we're going to do is we're going to walk through the pros and cons associated with each of those methods to deliver on a remote access strategy. MyVoice Business has what's referred to as a Mitel Border Gateway. The Mitel Border Gateway, actually, if you compare that with MyVoice Connect, it's the Edge Gateway and the mobility router-ish, all in a single appliance, virtual appliance or physical. Again, all these can be virtual or physical as well. But the Mitel Border Gateway handles the remote access for both the mobile client as well as the hard phone and clients. Teleworker is a license associated with the Mitel Border Gateway. It's their licensing structure for enabling the Mitel Border Gateway access. Where MyVoice Connect calls it Office Anywhere, MyVoice Business calls it External Hot Desk. The same things available, just different language depending on your platform. My Team Meetings is a new offering. Currently, it's only on the MyVoice Business platform. If you are a MyVoice Business user, I recommend that you reach out to your salesperson. Mitel's offering 6 months free trial on My Team Meetings. Think of My Team Meetings as Zoom or even Microsoft Teams. It's the same thing. It allows you that video, integrated chat, team workspaces, file sharing, tasks, all those things, just like Microsoft Teams, or maybe if you're familiar with Zoom, the cloud-based conferencing solution. My Team Meetings is that same solution for the MyVoice Business platform. And I've got a slide on there to talk about some of those details. That news is brand new to us from as of yesterday on this 6-month trial. I think Mitel is responding to the coronavirus scare and offering some abilities for companies to engage that solution quickly to execute a remote worker strategy should they have that need. And the MyVoice Business, again, supports the hard phone, the soft phone, and the mobile phone. Kurt and Mark, do either of you want to add anything to sort of this high level, or I think I've shared my slides with you. We're going to walk through each of them individually, but any other thoughts or comments you'd like to make before we proceed?
I'm good, Eric. I think you've covered the platforms fairly well.
Okay. All right, good. All right. So the Mitel Edge Gateway is a virtual appliance. It can be physical, I believe, right, Kurt? It can be a physical appliance, but it's our preference is to install it in a virtual environment.
Nope. Edge Gateway is virtual only.
Virtual only. Okay, there you go.
Correct.
And so the pros of the Edge Gateway is that it supports hard phones, right? Physical phones. Currently, it supports the 400 series phone. So if you have a 480 something, it supports that. Kurt, remind me, are the 230s the 200 series phones supported on the gateway?
No, it's only yeah, it has to have the VPN client. So if it's
Okay, so
if
it's
the
the
400
G
series
phones.
phones is where it's supported. Yep.
Right. Okay. Very good. And you don't have, if you have the Edge Gateway and you have the 400 series phones, there's no other VPN required. You don't have to have a third-party VPN loaded anywhere in order to facilitate it. That technology is built into the hardware of the 400 series phone, and the other end of that secure tunnel is the Edge Gateway. So there's no additional VPN that's required to get the phone functioning and operational, as well as the client. It's easy to deploy, right? There's no additional training required for end users. They can use the same application that they're using internally. They use the same type of phone they use internally. They can simply pick that phone up, and as it's configured and licensed correctly, take it home, plug it in, and now their office is in their home. There's also a nice option with the client if you don't have the full-blown My Voice Connect client. Okay, so let me do this here momentarily. I want to show you my Voice Connect client. Okay, so this is my Voice Connect client right here. Okay, so I've got let me relaunch that, guys. See what that's doing there. And what that is it's the remote control for my phone. It's the unified communications application. For my My Voice business users, this client is similar to My Collab. So where My Voice Connect calls this Mitel Connect, My Voice Business calls it Collab, My Collab. Okay, so you've got your presence awareness, you got your chats, your groups, your click to dial, all those things. This is the application that I mentioned is available without any VPN, additional VPN, because it connects to the Edge Gateway. And you can also, instead of installing this application, there is a Chrome plugin that allows you to create a soft phone through Chrome. Okay. You'll notice here when I click on my link here, I've got a desk phone option, I've got a soft phone option. Okay, we want to talk about soft phones, or my external assignment. That is what we call either the external hot desk or the Office Anywhere feature. And that's where I would potentially turn my cell phone into my 4-digit desk phone. Okay, so these are available to our customers that have the Mitel Connect application here, along with an Edge Gateway. You can deploy hard phones, the 400 series, or the soft phone as it's configured in your user profile. It does require a configuration for the user. Not all users are authorized for soft phones, so there is a checkbox and a license for the soft phone to function. But it is simply as simple as simply clicking this soft phone button, and now I'm using my PC speakers, my microphone, my built-in headset to my laptop as my phone. There is no hard desk phone. Okay. All right. So I'll get back to this slide here. Okay. So the cons associated with the Edge Gateway, there's some licensing costs associated with it, right? To enable those remote folks, there's a per remote user licensing costs. If you don't already have soft phones, there could potentially be a soft phone licensing cost as well. This one here is something that sometimes people forget about. We had actually a long discussion about that this morning in our own operations. Hard phones require power over Ethernet at your home. So you have to have some sort of power injector to actually power the phone at your home office. This little device here, some people are like, well, you know, we had the discussion this morning, my home internet router is in a different room than my home office. How do I connect my hard phone to the router that's sitting in my basement closet where my home office is on the second floor? There are these Ethernet extenders that you can buy from Best Buy. This is a TP-Link option here. Netgear makes PowerLink 1000. These are pretty neat devices. What you do is you plug one end into your network router, and then you plug in the other one anywhere into a wall jack within your house. And essentially, if anyone is familiar with long reach Ethernet, you're essentially using the electrical wiring in your house to extend your network from the router in the closet in the basement up to your second floor with these two devices. And then you simply plug in your phone to the jack on the bottom, and now you've extended your Ethernet access, the physical connection required that a hard phone requires a physical connection. So that's one way we've seen people solve the problem of, I don't have a long Ethernet cable. I don't want to run an Ethernet cable from my closet up the steps to my home office because that's a 50-foot cable and people are going to trip on it. This is a $40, $50, $60, $70 pair that you buy at Best Buy online, something like that. I used one when I worked from home primarily years ago. It works great. I could add my phone to essentially any room that had a power adapter and extend that Ethernet out of my network closet that was down on the first floor. Okay. So while your hard phone does require PoE, this is one way to solve that. How do I get Ethernet into my home office? The soft phone, you're going to need a PC with a headset. That's going to be the preferred method unless you have a really good noise canceling laptop speaker and microphone. I have found I do work primarily on a MacBook Pro. It does have really good noise canceling capabilities without a headset. It's got the speakerphone built into my laptop. But that's not the norm. Most people have desktop PCs at home. Maybe they don't have a microphone. So if you're going to use a soft phone at the house, you're going to want to get a good noise canceling headset that you can utilize. The preferred is to plug in to it, hardwired headset, but wireless headsets work as well. Okay, so that's kind of a quick and dirty on the, I keep moving this thing, hitting my mouse accidentally, on the edge gateway, what's required to get it up and running, what are some cautions, some things you got to consider. Kurt, anything else that you would recommend or suggest? We can help you install this, configure, get it up and running, all those fun things. That we do this all day, every day. Kurt, any other guidance for our customers?
Yeah, I noticed we've got a couple of folks on that are contact center customers. The contact center agent can also run remotely through the edge gateway. That is another one of the features. So it's the remote phone, the remote client, and the remote contact center agent are all capable through the edge gateway.
Right, that's a good point. Yep. What are the platform version requirements for an edge gateway?
You have to be on My Voice Connect. 14.2 does not support the edge gateway, and as we said earlier, it is a virtual device only.
Right. Okay. Very good. So there's so virtual environments required. You need to be on My Voice Connect, not the 14.2. I know we do still have some customers on 14.2. Hopefully, this will encourage you to go ahead and get upgraded. If you have a support contract, right? There's no license fees or anything to upgrade. It's just part of the support contract to get you upgraded to the latest and greatest version. I recommend you do that, and that is required for the edge gateway. Okay, very good. All right, so the Mitel mobility router is a little bit different of an animal. It is supported on the My Voice Connect platform. Okay, I've got a picture of my iPhone. I have an application on my iPhone that runs the mobile Connect client. Okay, it's supported on iPhones and Androids. Again, there's no additional VPN required. The technology is between the mobility router as well as the client loaded on the smartphone itself. It does have the ability to work over your home Wi-Fi. It can use cellular data, and it can use cellular voice networks. So it can choose between networks based on coverage and signal. So it's pretty flexible. The cons associated with this, again, there's a virtual appliance that you need to install. There's some licensing costs associated with it. If you have a bring your own device BYOD plan in place for your workers and you do not actually provide them a corporate mobile phone, right? There's the con is the risk that I'm installing a corporate application on a non-corporate asset if you are a BYOD. Not the end of the world, you know, you can if a user leaves, you simply disable that user, and just because the application's installed doesn't mean they will have access all the time. You simply disable that user and they can't connect to the mobility router. So there's no security concerns associated with it other than your sort of corporate policies around how you support mobile devices in your organization. Every culture is different, and you know every corporation has to take into account regulatory compliance, security compliance, liability associated with providing corporate phones or having an organization use their own device. But that is something you do need to navigate with your compliance team if you're going to use the mobility application. And that's what I would view as a con to how quickly you can enable that in some cultures and some organizations. It also does require a little different training. It's, you got to get a little familiar with it. It's pretty powerful, right? You still have the ability to instant message to your people just like you can through Connect Client. You can look at your voicemails and your call history, and you have all your contacts, and you can 4-digit dial. There's some things you just sort of need to know about it, and it's mainly when you're moving between a Wi-Fi and or cellular networks of how the calls may or may not be handled. So it does require a little bit higher level understanding, or can require a little higher level of understanding if you're a very mobile person where you're moving in and out. If I'm using this solution on my home Wi-Fi and that's all I'm using it for, it's very simple and very straightforward. But there are some abilities to move a call between Wi-Fi and cellular data without dropping the call and having it continue the call, which is what the mobility router does for us. And so there's a little bit of training, a little bit of education on that piece as well. Mobility router, I think, Kurt, is supported in 14.2. Is it still?
That is correct, yes.
Okay. And you don't have, and if you already have all the phones, you don't have any additional hardware expense. There's no PoE to worry about because it's your cell phone, right? It's your smartphone that you're using as the device. And just like you talk into it like you do every day, there's no additional, you know, voice implications with it. No PoE. You don't have to run a cable in your house. You just tie into your Wi-Fi, and you can use this device, have access to your corporate instant messaging through this application. It essentially is taking the Connect client, right? See, the icons are the same. They're a little bit different order. They're the same, right? I've got my same available, in a meeting, out of office, on vacation, right? The same settings. It's the same application. It's just on my mobile phone instead of my PC or Mac. Okay. All right, so for Mitel Office Anywhere, this is where we're essentially, you don't really have to license this one. Okay, there's no licensing required. If you're a MyVoice Connect user, you already have this feature. And what I'm talking about in the Connect client is this external assignment button right here on my screen. Essentially, what I can do is, if you call my DID right now, it'll ring my desk phone. If I hang up and change it to soft phone and you call my DID, it will ring my Mac instead of my hard phone. If I hang up and then select external assignment number, the next time you call my DID, it will actually ring my personal cell number. And when I answer it, it says, you have an enterprise call. If you'd like to connect, press 1. And I press 1, and it connects the call. So I know that it's a business call versus a personal call. And those are settings that you can set up. This is the external assignment, also referred to as Mitel Office Anywhere for MyVoice Connect. No licensing required. It's just being able to configure your user to do that. And it's a class of service. You do have to enable your class of service users to have this access, because you can also lock it down so people can't do that. Works with any 10-digit directly dialable number. Could be your mother-in-law's home phone, could be your cell phone, could be the direct dial for the hotel that you're staying in, whatever. As long as it's a 10-digit number, that can become your extension. And that is over the PSTN, right? It's the public switch telephone network. It's not a voice over IP call. You get toll quality over that sort of old circuit-based technology, okay? Sorry about that. Keep flipping it. My mouse is sensitive today. The cons, okay, if you think about it, one of the cons is with Office Anywhere, it's going to use 2 trunks for each call, and here is why. When someone calls my DID, the call comes in on my SIP trunks. We are an IntelliPeer customer. We use IntelliPeer SIP trunks here at IPC. Comes in my IntelliPeer SIP trunks, and then my MyVoice Connect PBX then places a second call out to my cell phone. So there's 2 legs or 2 trunks for each call. So you want to be careful with Office Anywhere that you could saturate your trunking if too many people engage it at the same time. That's one of the cons of this. It doesn't cost you anything to do it other than you're going to limit your capacity associated with your trunking. The other con is that receiving calls is very easy. You set it up, someone calls your DID, your phone rings, you pick it up and answer it. The challenge is when you want to make a call from your remote device, right? If I pick up my cell phone and I call one of my customers, it's going to go through as my personal cell phone. I don't want you having my personal cell phone number, although I just displayed it for all to see on the webinar. But generally, I don't want you to know what my personal cell phone number is. And so I need the ability to make a call from my remote device. And the way to do that is with the Edge Gateway. So receiving calls inbound to your DID is very easy to configure. Making a call has to be done from the software, because follow me with this. If I have my client remote, I'm sitting at my home and I want to make a call, what I have to do is come here and call Kurt Wright. Now I see that he's on the phone already because he's on the phone talking to us. However, if I call that number, what happens first is the system calls Kurt first. Calls me first at my cell number or whatever number I've assigned as my external number. It could be my mother-in-law's number, my home number, my cell number, what have you. Calls that number first and connects, and then grabs that second trunk and calls Kurt. So Kurt sees my corporate DID, not my cell phone's DID. I know I'm throwing a lot at you. We can walk through each of these scenarios at an in-depth way. We can draw pictures and draw lines and show you how this actually works so that you can completely understand what's going on. We just felt it timely to have this webinar to make you aware of the options, okay? So Office Anywhere, no licensing, works with any 10-digit number, toll quality voice. It does use 2 trunks, and making calls from your corporate identity, there are a little bit, some ramifications there. Okay. Kurt, Mark, feel free to interrupt me at any time. All right, so the Mitel Border Gateway. So the options here, we're going to switch from MyVoice Connect. I believe the majority of you are MyVoice Connect customers. We do have MyVoice Business customers as well. But we've got Office Anywhere, the mobility router, and the Edge Gateway. Those are our 3 remote strategies, pros and cons for each. All right, so for our MyVoice Business customers, different platform, different software. It's the Heritage Mitel side versus the Heritage ShoreTel side. So The Connect folks can sort of tune out for a minute. We're going to circle it back together here in a second, but let's talk about My Voice Business. So the Mitel Border Gateway is equivalent to the Edge Gateway and the mobility router combined in a single appliance. It can be virtual or physical as the gateway. It supports, that single appliance supports hard phones, soft phones, and the mobile phones. There's no additional VPN required. It also has a Chrome plugin available if you do not want to install software on your users' home computers, so they can download a Chrome plugin instead and have access to the soft phone and the click to dial and all those fun things. Some of the cons are you do have mobility and teleworker licensing costs associated with the Border Gateway. If you're going to use the soft phone, you do have to have My Collab. So My Collab is the collaboration suite on the My Voice Business side. It's a separate application that you have to have My Collab in order for the soft phone to function. So you need My Voice Business, My Collab, and then adding a Border Gateway gives you the ability to have soft phone and remote access. Some of the cons, similar to the other one, right? Bring your own device or corporate provided mobile phones. We've discussed sort of the ramifications associated with that. It's the same regardless, right? If you have the BYOD strategy, there's some regulatory and compliance issues that you will want to address with customer data, privacy, those types of things. So consult your legal counsel. And it's a little bit different. You do want to train your users, right? If I move, I've got a picture on the right-hand side there of the My Collab client on a mobile device. Actually, that one's the My Collab client itself. That's not even on the mobile device. That is the My Collab client, which let me be real clear here. With Connect, we have Mitel Connect, which is the My Voice Connect version, and this is the My Voice Business version of the same solution, right? It's basically the remote control for your phone. It's the unified communications. Okay, so Mitel Border Gateway, Edge Gateway, mobility router together with similar considerations, similar pros and cons. Okay. Mitel External Hot Desk is the same as the Office Anywhere on the other platform, right? There's no licensing required. You just need to configure your users to be able to have access to the feature. Works with any 10-digit number, toll quality voice. It too uses 2 trunks per calls, and making calls is the same thing. So on the My Voice Business, this external hot desk has the same concerns that the Office Anywhere feature does on My Voice Connect. Okay, this is the new stuff. This came out to us yesterday, the 6-month trial associated with My Team Meetings. Presently only available on My Voice Business. We're trying to get updates from the product line managers on when this will be available to our My Voice Connect customers. So stay tuned for that. It's a subscription-based solution, right? It's just like subscribing to Zoom or GoToMeeting, like the call we're on today. I could very easily come here, turn on my camera. Let's see here, make sure my camera's still here. You can see me. There I am. Ready? Hi, hello, hello. My soccer ball in the background there. Right, the same type of video calling that we would have with. I don't know if you saw that or not. I'm hopefully that's shared on the screen for everybody. So it's a subscription-based video audio conferencing service. This is a picture of it, right? You can have up to 16 people, I believe, on a video call. It's got your collaborative chat. It's got workspaces, those things. It is cloud-based. My Team Meetings is hosted in Amazon Web Services. It's a service offering for My Voice Business. It is integrated with the Mitel My Collab solution. And just yesterday, we got the 6-month free trial that was announced. So this would be a way to enable video or audio through your My Voice Business solution integrated with My Collab for that single application, so that all your users could, you don't have to do video, it could be audio only, but it gives you the ability to communicate inside and outside your organization. The cons are it's only available on My Voice Business. It does require My Collab version 9.1, so if you're not on that version, you do have to upgrade to that. And if you're under software assurance, that's a pretty straightforward upgrade. It is integrated with My Collab, however, it is a slightly different interface at this time. This is the first iteration of this. As the solution matures, it will become tighter and tighter integrated into My Collab as a single application. It does also require the cloud link chat be enabled. If you're not sure what that means, just let's have a conversation offline and talk about how to get to my team meetings offering. Mark, this is sort of your specialty area, the Mitel Blue side. I know this is fairly new, but is there anything you wanted to add associated with the Mitel Border Gateway, Mitel External Hot Desk, or Mitel Team Meetings?
No, you covered it pretty well. There is the ACD offering does require multiple licenses if you are using a hard phone in the office and a soft phone out of the office. Other than that, no, everything you spoke about was to the point.
Excellent. All right. Okay. So just so we can talk a little bit about what it looks like, we're going to pick on the Edge Gateway, but this is really a similar discussion between the mobility router or the gateway. Hey, Kurt, you're coughing off a mute there. Just make sure you knew that.
Not guilty.
Oh, maybe it's somebody else on the call. I thought there was just three of us. Okay, so the Edge Gateway is an appliance that sits between the internet and your infrastructure. There are various ways to deploy this. Our recommendation is to deploy this into a DMZ. Some people do side by side with firewalls. A lot of this depends on your ability and understanding and the maturity of the firewall that you have in your corporate environment. Not all firewalls are created equally. If you have a security team and you manage your own firewall infrastructure, put it in a DMZ. That's the safest place for it. And you will walk you through the ports and the access that's required into that DMZ. Sometimes we find that certain firewalls don't have some of the ability, and it's primarily around the SIP protocol. SIP is a little finicky. It does require some high UDP ports, which most security engineers don't really like to let in and out of their network. From a security standpoint, speaking as a former security professional, I completely understand that position. It is just right. We follow a layered security approach. We have multiple ways to secure our external interfaces. And so the Edge Gateway, in some of our instances, Kurt, right? It's they put them side by side to the firewall instead of into a DMZ. The Edge Gateway does have its own firewall built in. It is a secure appliance. Walk through maybe some of the different scenarios or different sort of gotchas when we go to, and Mark, you can speak up as well, because even though it says Edge Gateway on the screen there, you can insert Border Gateway or Mobility Router, and you're going to have a similar discussion around the security and how this device is made available to your external users, yet maintains the security integrity of your internal network.
Yeah, this is Kurt. I'm going to jump in first real quick, Mark, if you don't mind. The Edge Gateway and the Mobility Router for the My Voice Connect platform, it is preferable to put them in the DMZ. And Mark will speak a little bit more to this in a moment. Unlike the MBG, which is on the My Voice Business platform, that one does have an integrated firewall in it and has firewall capabilities, where the Edge Gateway and the Mobility Router on the Connect platform are more appliance boxes, and they are better protected in the DMZ behind the corporate firewall. That being said, for those, we don't have to open a whole lot of ports for them through the corporate firewall. We will only need TCP and UDP 443 to establish those secured tunnels. And I'll step aside and let Mark speak to the border gateway.
The Mitel border gateway can be deployed with a public-facing IP address. It has a built-in firewall. It has IP address whitelisting and blacklisting supported. Both the Mitel 5300 series phones and the 6900 series phones use a proprietary protocol that is encrypted. And on the SIP side, we use TLS 1.2. There are ports that do have to be opened, and there are a lot of monitoring tools that you can built into it that you can see if people are probing and looking at your network. As always, if you are running an integrated voice and data network, it is always better to put it inside the your firewall, where you can monitor what's going on and see if there's any intrusion detection.
So from a security standpoint, yes, from a security standpoint, it looks like we got some options. Each of them have their different sort of consequences for deployment, and so we can design based on your environment and your security requirements to make sure that we can achieve the genius of the and, right? Give remote access and ensure corporate security and integrity. Okay, good discussion. So some more on the edge gateway, some technologies. We got some slides here that talk around some of the technology. I don't want to, and we can go over this with you individually as customers if you want to discuss some of these in more detail. For the edge gateway, it's only the 400 endpoints. For the Mitel border gateway, it is the 5300 series and the 6900 series. I will tell you that directionally, Mitel is going to make the Mitel border gateway available on MyVoice Connect. That is the stated direction from the product manager of MyVoice Connect. They are working to ensure that the Mitel border gateway is available on all platforms. And so that is sort of the designated move forward strategy. It's not there yet for our MyVoice customers, MyVoice Connect customers, but know that that is the direction that we've received from Mitel. They're going to be trying to unify that edge remote strategy technology around the Mitel border gateway. Not to say the other products will go away or will stop working, just in the future they're going to develop around and try to simplify the strategy with a single platform. Several different options here. We talked about the deployment models, DMZ, we discussed those. This is all, okay. Let me do this. Let me look and see if we have received any questions.
We have. I've answered a bunch.
All right, very good.
I've been busily answering questions as you've been as we've gone along.
Great. Okay. All right. So if you have additional questions, some specifics, hopefully this gets you a little bit further along in the understanding of the options available to you as a Mitel and an IPC customer. If you want to discuss these items further, please contact your account rep. If you're not sure who that account rep is, you can call Eric Bowling or email me, ebowling@ipctech.com. We'll do this here so you can see my show you here. There's my contact information right here. Okay, Eric Bowling. There's my direct number. Email address is ebowling@ipctech.com. Feel free to reach out to me and I can put you in touch with your account rep if you don't know who that is to further these discussions. We'll get on, we'll draw some pictures, we'll diagram, get some pricing of how you want to do this. We've also internally, because of the current state of our country and the epidemic or pandemic that we're facing as a country, we've discussed that we are going to prioritize organizations from a health and safety reason and a business continuity purpose. So as we have, right, we got a lot of projects we're working on currently. However, if a project comes in and it is related to the ability for you to keep your employees healthy because you execute a remote strategy, or it's related to your business continuity, we love the small business and want to support them as best we can. We will do our best to prioritize projects appropriately based on our resources and our existing customers and projects. So you have my commitment that we're going to do our best to help you navigate these next several weeks as it appears like we're all supposed to hunker down here for the couple of weeks outside of our homes. IPC has executed our remote work strategy. However, you should see zero degradation in our service. We sell this technology. We use it every day. Half of our employees already work out of their homes as normal business operations. And so this is just, I don't have to drive into work. I'm going to work from my home for a couple of weeks. But you as our customer should not see any degradation in our service because we have full 100% remote access based on this technology and others we deploy in our operations. If you find that to be not the case, you've got my number and my email. Please let me know if you feel like there's any degradation in our ability to serve our customers. So that being said, it is close to 2:50. Any other questions out there? If not, we're gonna, old boss of mine used to tell me there's no penalty for ending a meeting early. And so we can all go continue our prepping of, let's see here. I don't see, let's see. I didn't see all your answers, so I want to make sure we did answer the questions here. Looks like somebody had a question early on. What is the, okay, those were in there. Can you use a power adapter with a set at home? Some sets support power adapters. I know that the 5300 and the 6900 actually have a, what we refer to as a wall wart, right? It actually takes a direct power adapter into it where you don't use PoE. The 400 series phones require PoE. They do not have a power adapter per se. It does require PoE. The 5300s and the 6900s do support the power adapter. The 400 series do not. Okay. There's another question, is the Edge Gateway a physical virtual appliance? We answered that. That's a virtual. Edge Gateway and MyCollab are required to use the soft phone. Okay, so the Edge Gateway is the MyVoice Connect product. So the Edge Gateway is a MyVoice Connect product, and MyCollab is a MyVoice Business product. So, Mr. Johnson, if you can ask that question to your account rep, we'll get that straight. But let me review that again. The question is basically, how do I use the soft phone? If I am a MyVoice Connect customer, I need the Edge Gateway, and I need to be licensed for soft phone. And if I am a MyVoice Business customer, I need to have the Mitel Border Gateway, and I need to be enabled for soft phone. Now, we have seen this practice in the past. You bring up an interesting point. Maybe you didn't know you brought it up, but it did bring one to my mind. Why can't I just use my VPN solution and have a soft phone running at my home network? That is a common practice that is attempted. However, it's best effort. There is nothing shaping it. There is nothing to help that voice quality. Technically, from a technology perspective, purely technology, all things the same, it should work. It is just not a supported environment because Mitel is not controlling the VPN technology between the PC and your VPN concentrator. So if you have an existing VPN solution where you have clients loaded on a laptop, call it a Checkpoint VPN or a Cisco VPN or a whatever, Sonic Wall VPN, lots of different types of VPN solutions out there. If you have that already, technically you could spin up a soft phone on that home PC and get it to work through that VPN. Our experience tells us that that is best effort. Primarily, it is what it is, and there's no tweaking. And if it's good, it's good. If it's bad, it's bad, and you sort of have to deal with it because we don't own that VPN tunnel. So that's a little bit riskier of a method to deploy a remote worker with essentially a non-Mitel VPN solution. And there's no way that we can guarantee that. We'll help you through it, but we can't guarantee it. So hopefully that addresses some other items there. Can the port on the edge gateway be customized? Let's see here. Kurt, did you answer that question?
The answer is yes.
Okay.
I did, and yeah, it is at default port 443 TCP and UDP. It will stay TCP and UDP, but it can be modified from 443 to another unused port.
Okay. Is the Connect client an appliance within the DMZ? So the Connect client, I know I'm throwing a lot of words out at folks, okay? Let's just talk specifically. The Connect client is the desktop client, okay? That sits on my PC. This is on my Mac or your Windows. And so that's the application that runs on the end user's computer. So the Connect client is a computer-based. What sits in the DMZ is either the Edge Gateway or the Mitel Border Gateway. That's the VPN concentrator, if you will. Okay. I think that concludes our questions. I don't see any other questions listed. So thank you again for everyone. Please stay safe, wash your hands, don't shake hands, keep your social distance, all that good stuff. And we will be here as you need us. Please reach out and we can help you as best we can. Everybody have a good rest of your Tuesday. Thank you so much.